Are you ready? Are you ready for the thrill of victory? Are you ready to taste victory? Are you ready to take your sports betting to a whole new level? Sit up, put your feet on the floor, because we have work to do. Welcome to the grind. Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports betting show. Tune in live every Thursday at 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Let us make you a more successful sports bettor.
Good morning, everybody. Cappers Nation Live, Saturday game day edition. We are here. We are alive. It is Saturday. We're running a tad bit late, but we've got some winners for everybody. Welcome, 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 everybody. Glad to have everybody here. It is going to be a fantastic Saturday. Going to be a nice, big, fantastic Saturday. Glad to have everybody here. Hey, look, there's a new Mike B. Welcome. It says 90+% of cappers are usually garbage. I've only found a handful over 25 years that win long term. I wonder which category you put me in. Stat Guap, good morning. Anthony, good morning. Michael, good morning. Shane Russell, Nick, good morning. Everybody on YouTube, good morning. Never SKC, good morning. Everybody tuning in on the live stream app, good morning as well to everybody over there. Jerry Jones, Shapendi. We are streaming live all over the place. We are streaming live on Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope, our website, cappersdirect.com. The live stream app, which is the best app, as well as YouTube, because the haters say we can't. The haters say we can't, so here we are. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have everybody here. It's going to be a great time. Excuse me. I just got done having a sneezing attack, so it's one of the reasons why we're a tad bit late this morning is I could not stop sneezing for the life of me. For the life of me, the sneezes just still wanted to keep coming. And for part of me, I still think that they do, unfortunately. So, it's going to be a great day today, no doubt about it. We're here, we're live, ready to make some more money. Everybody who's looking to get on Guaranteed Saturday, they got a promo code for everybody. $50 off Guaranteed Saturday. You must be signed up by 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Stat Guap, feel free to talk as much as you want, brother. You're allowed to talk as much as you want here. This ain't class. You don't got to sit down and raise your hand to speak. If you want to speak, just so speak in the chat. Everybody is welcome to chit-chat here, as always. Ugh. I'm dying from that sneezing attack. So, getting everything up and running. Glad you're hyped. It's always good to be hyped. Jonathan, what's going on, brother? Glad to have you here. Game of the week winner yesterday on Michigan State. That was a nice winner yesterday for yet again another college basketball game of the week. In the books, winning, hammering the bookies with the biggest bets that we put out. That was a nice one yesterday, no doubt about it. And we are going to keep that theme rolling right into Guaranteed Saturday. Nick Rez says, let's get a class action lawsuit against the Yankees. Against the Astros. I had the Yankees in that walk-off, or when one of those walk-offs, one of Altuve's 2 walk-offs where he beat us. That was my 100K loser. We ended up beating him in the next game, but they ended up ultimately losing the series. But yeah, trust me, I thought about it. It crossed my mind. It crossed my mind, that's for sure. So, who had a good Friday? Who started out the weekend off right? I'm excited. Morning, William, tuning in via text message. Justice, tuning in via the live stream app. Justice, what's going on, brother? Yes, we did hit my game of the week. Game of the week, Michigan State. Another game of the week winner. Everybody keeps waiting to get on it. And then they all wish they're on it when it's all over and done with. Just like Guaranteed Saturday today, they're going to be wishing that they were on it. If you're not on Guaranteed Saturday today, you're going to want to be on it. Let's talk about what we've got today, and then we're going to backtrack and talk about what we did yesterday. You could be excited for yesterday, but yesterday's done and over with. I'm super pumped for today. Today is going to be an absolute awesome day. Good morning, Joe, tuning in on the YouTube live stream there. Let's talk about what we've got today. First of all, UFC 246 here in Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, 6:30 Eastern Time. Prelims will be on ESPN. Conor McGregor, Donald Cowboy Cerrone, Holly Holmes is fighting. She's fighting Raquel Pennington. Alexei Olenk against Maurice Green. You got Keller. Carlos Diego Ferreira. If you remember, he's an absolute freak. Titus, good morning. UFC later today. If you're not on it, you need to be on it. You got a free max fight pick if you signed up that first week. FC's max fight picks in the last 11. I'm going to break down the stats for you, okay? In the last 11, he's 10-0-1. 10-0-1 in the last 11 max fight picks. It's pretty healthy if you ask. You're not on his max fight. You're going to absolutely miss out later tonight. Much like Guaranteed Saturday. If you're not on it, you're going to absolutely miss out later. Let me tell you a little bit about his max fight pick. So, out of the last 11, he's had 10 wins and a draw. The draw was a money back. Good morning, Greg. Tuning in on the YouTube app. If you guys are not familiar with betting the UFC, that's fine. Inside our UFC package, FC explains in detail on every single card how to bet it. Exactly how to bet it. From his max fight pick to his top fight picks to his fight picks, strong leans, stay away recommendations, parlays, all those juicy write-ups. If you're not on his max fight pick, you're absolutely going to miss out. It's $25, guaranteed a winner. He'll give you the next one free. And let me tell you, FC hasn't been given many for free. Why? Out of the last 11 UFC cards, he has 10-0-1. Not bad. Not bad. Well, it's pretty damn great. No other service is doing that. I promise you that much. As far as the actual UFC card goes this week, there's not one, but 2 top fight picks on it. There's 2 top fight picks. Fight picks, strong leans, every one of those juicy write-ups. The cool thing is, you can get his card for $29.99, $30. $30 for the entire card. The write-ups are worth more than $30 by themselves. Remember, UFC starts at 6:30 Eastern Time. Don't delay. Get on it now before the big lines change. Be a great time. Now, if you want a free UFC fight pick, I know a lot of you have already been taking advantage of it. If you go to our website, cappersdirect.com, and you click on the UFC tab at the top of the page, and then you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, there is a way to get a free UFC fight pick and a full write-up for UFC 246. There's no purchase necessary, no credit card required. Yes, you have to have an account on our website. You got to log in to get it. But you can get a free UFC fight pick for UFC 246 tonight. You can sample before you buy, but I'm telling you, you're going to want the whole card. A wise man once said, get on the whole card. Give me 1 second, folks. So, the free UFC fight pick, that's open for everybody, folks. All right, that's open for everybody. Okay? Anthony liked the UFC card. I think it's going to be a great one. No doubt about it. Man, I need these little allergies to clear up. So, what else do we have besides UFC later tonight? Guaranteed Saturday, it's in college hoops. We haven't put out a college hoops guaranteed Saturday in quite some time. Let me tell you. And let me tell you, this is a big one. If you've been waiting to get on board, here's your chance. Christopher Bayer, good morning. Tuning in via the live stream app, the best app to watch our live shows. Remember, folks, if you're watching this on Twitter, Periscope, come join us either on the live stream app where you can chat, or the YouTube the YouTube channel where you can also chat with us as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, first of all, welcome. Glad to have everybody here. I know it's dark. I know it's early. I know our viewers are now split up between the live stream app and YouTube. That's perfectly fine. If you're tuning in on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you get notified every single time we post videos. And remember, as a disclaimer, if you're watching us on YouTube and you're looking for our videos on YouTube, and then tomorrow you don't see us posting a video on YouTube, I promise you we've got a video posted. It's just on our website. All right, we're not going to be posting videos every single day to YouTube or live streaming to YouTube on every single day. However, we stream live every single day. And if you want it, you're going to have to go to our website on days that we're not on YouTube. Okay, there's a disclaimer about YouTube. So, with that being said, no other services up yet. Giving you guys the juice, and we're about to. So, let's jump right into it. I absolutely can't wait for today. I'm super pumped if you don't know. If you can't tell, I'm super pumped. All right, let's go over what we had yesterday as far as game of the week. Michigan State laying the 9. Some got 9.5. Nice winner there. Premium plays ended up going 2-1. We dropped Ryder. Against Niagara. With like a minute to go. Hammered home the 76ers, laying 7. That was a winner there. Miami and Oklahoma City over 216. That was a nice winner there. We gave you guys that for free during the live show yesterday. Free plays ended up going 1-1. We dropped the under the small consensus play, but we hammered the free premium play. Congratulations, everybody there. Everybody should have made money on free plays by winning the big one, dropping the small one. Good morning, Corey. Good morning, Ray. My personal plays had a little stumble. We've been in a little bit of a cold spell. Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second, folks. Going to finish the recap, then we're going to start breaking down what we're going to be doing today. In 1 quick second, folks. One second, folks. Okay, I am back. I am back. So, my games yesterday have been in a little bit of a slip. It happens every now and then after we hit that big 4-0 day. Had a little stumble. And yesterday, Toronto laying 10. That was a nice winner there. Started out 1-0. Fairfield against Iona. Fairfield plus 4.5. That stunk it up there. They lost by 7. Also had Michigan plus the 5. They were actually up by 3 with like a minute or 2 to go. And or 2 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go, something like that. Hold on 1 second, guys. Promo code. All right. So I ended up going 1-2 after Michigan fell late. Unfortunately, small little skids happen. It doesn't matter how good you are. You will have those little times where you go in a little lull, but it's what you do long term. Obviously, bankroll management is key to being able to survive in this business, no doubt about it. We dropped 4 or 5 games. That's okay. We'll bounce right back. We'll get it right back. We always do. We always seem to do. NHL yesterday, as Mr. Watson said, had a huge 2-0 yesterday. Let's start out with the small winning one. Tampa Bay, Winnipeg over 6. Winner, chicken dinner. And now for the big one, the Anaheim Ducks plus 220 on the money line. Nice plus 220 for everybody. Nice big 2-0 for the NHL package. Really nice 2-0 for the NHL package. Always love having the big days with the NHL package. For everybody that is not on our NHL, let's just say you wanted to try the NHL. We just put up, and they didn't advertise it, but they just put up, it's a 1 week of our NHL package on sale for $50. So for everybody that's not on it and you want to try it, there's anywhere from 1 to 3 NHL plays a day. But if you're looking for some extra plays and you want to bet the NHL, you want to sample our NHL package, you can pick up a week for $50 on sale. Darren, good morning. So that was the recap for what we did yesterday. NHL, the plus 220, the 2-0 there. Premium plays 2-1, another winning day on premium plays. Premium plays picking up some steam the last couple days. They've actually, with the exception of the bad day on Wednesday for premium plays, they've actually won 4 out of the last 5 days. They've had one losing day out of the last 8, I believe. Had one losing day out of the last 8. Nick, NHL, great sport to win, absolutely. Perfect rotation, what have you missed? Just a bunch of talk. Feel free to rewind if you want. Nothing crazy. Haven't broken down any games yet. But we will shortly. Alrighty. So, any MMA bets tonight? Yeah, we've got a lot of UFC bets. You want a free UFC fight pick? Just head to our website. Actually, scroll above. The link is in the comment section above there, Matthew. And you can get a free UFC pick from FC on UFC 246, as well as one of his juicy write-ups. But if you want the entire card, it's $29.99 for the entire card, $25 for his guaranteed max fight pick. And today is going to be a killer day. Thank you, Jamar, for taking care of that. I see you just took care of that as well. Christopher, thanks for jumping on board FC's max fight pick. Laura, thank you for jumping on board the 4 days special. 4 days of my plays guaranteed Saturday. The UFC and the max fight pick. Thank you, Frank, as well, for jumping on board. You did the premium plays, guaranteed Saturday, UFC, and the max fight pick. Awesome. Brandon, to you as well. Christopher, thanks for jumping back on board with me as well. Always glad to have everybody here tuning in, jumping on our packages. I just got it, Jamar. Thank you. I do appreciate that. We're going to do it all again today. Remember, guys, if you're wanting guaranteed Saturday, if you're wanting to get on guaranteed Saturday, please enter the promo code SAT50. All right? Please enter the promo code SAT50. It takes $50 off guaranteed Saturday. I was hoping they were going to do it on sale for $50. Today, they haven't done the $50 one in quite some time. I was hoping they were going to, and unfortunately, they didn't, but I did squeeze a promo code out of them. All right, I did squeeze a promo code. Shane asking, Kyle, can you break down game 651, 652, West Virginia, Kansas State? Yes, we can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me get all that stuff up and running. We'll start our breakdowns. Guys, gotta give me just 1 second. I gotta blow my nose real quick. I do apologize. I had that sneezing attack right before we went live. All right, we're there. I'm a little shy. I don't like to blow it on camera. Alrighty. All right. Game day breakdowns coming your way. Game day breakdowns coming your way. College hoops breakdowns. We broke down some of the NFL yesterday. We're going to do the NFL again tomorrow. Super pumped. Super pumped, let me tell you. I see you guys all jumping on the free UFC pick. Mr. Jones, Alexandra, Eric, Ernest, Juan. I hope you guys all enjoy that free UFC fight pick. You win on it. Throw FC some love. Get some, make some more money on the rest of his card. Oliver says, good morning, Kyle and Cappers Nation. First time here. Love to know what the Cappers Nation is about. Thank you for joining us, Oliver. Cappers Nation is all about putting money in your pocket, helping you guys out. Live shows 7 days a week. Content 365 days a year, brought to you by CappersDirect.com. Daily free plays posted. Daily free consensus play videos posted every single day on our website. Most of the time here on YouTube, but not always. Not always here. But there'll always be daily free play videos on our website, CappersDirect.com. Days a week. 7 days a week on our website. YouTube as well. So if you want to hit your subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, tap that little bell. YouTube will send you instant notifications each and every single time we go live. What we're going to do now, we're going to start breaking down some college hoops. Hopefully put you guys on the right side. Make you guys some money, hopefully. That's the name of the game. That is the name of the game. Let's talk about the yesterday's live show. Taking a look at what went down just about everywhere yesterday. Yale was about the only good lean that came out of it. Matthew, what's the UFC free fight pick? Well, you got to go to our website, Matthew. Got to go to our website, click on the UFC tab, scroll down, and you get it right on our website. You want it, it's free. No credit card required, but we don't give it out in the chat. You want the free UFC pick, got to go to the website. Hold on 1 second, folks. Give me 1 second. Just helping out a customer real quick. Give me 1 second, folks. Just need to send this to a customer. One quick second. I do apologize. I know it's rude of me, but I love to help out our customers. Customer having a question on something, so I just want to take care of our customer real quick. Bear with me just a quick second. Just a quick second. Okay, so what we're going to do, I appreciate the kind words, Shane. And to everybody that's new, I will tell you this. We do have one of the best live chats between here and the live stream app on our website. We have one of the best. Go on here that you'll find in other places. None of that happens here. Who dat Bob? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks for joining us on the YouTube side. No package. All right. So, Shane requested a game first. He was one of the first ones to request a game 651, 652, West Virginia and Kansas State. We're going to break down that one right now for everybody. And then we're going to just bounce around. There's a lot of games on the board today, a lot of options. This is a 2 p.m. Eastern time game on ESPNU. We'll try and break down some early games, kind of mix it up for you guys, and go all over the place, bounce in and out of college hoops. A little here, a little there, and hopefully put you guys all on the right side of the games. Obviously, if I have a play on that game, I'll still break it down for you guys. I won't withhold that. However, I may not just give you guys my opinion because it'll end up possibly being the exact play that our clients are paying for. However, it may just be one of the free plays that I give you guys. So it's definitely going to be a great time today, nonetheless. Prantia, good morning. Wow, lucky dog, basically living in Jamaica. I'm definitely envious. Glad to have you with us. It's been a long time, brother. Glad to have you hanging out with us. UFC tonight. UFC tonight. Alrighty, so I got all that information popping up right now. I'm waiting for my live odds to load, and then once it's loaded, we're gonna start doing the game day breakdown. Remember, if you want to get your live odds, you want real-time live odds, and you want to be able to have access to the fastest, most updated odds out there for college basketball, the NBA, NHL, tomorrow's NFL action, the Super Bowl, NHL, you name it. If you want access to it, we've got it for you guys on our website. Definitely recommend you head to our website. Here's a direct link. There's a direct link to the free live real-time odds right on our website. Alrighty, so gonna get you guys this first game day breakdown, game 651, 652. Got my live odds up, guys. Just posted the live odds link in both the live stream app as well as the YouTube live chat. Glad you enjoy the free UFC fight pick as well as the betting process regarding the unit size there, Oliver. I'm glad you like that. FC breaks it down in detail. West Virginia and Kansas State. West Virginia opened up as a 6-point favorite. 5 Dimes currently has them at 5.5. The Westgate 5.5. DraftKings 6. Anywhere from 5.5 to 6, guys. Total opened up at 125. It's down to 124 just about everywhere. Guys, let's take a look at the Mountaineers from West Virginia. 14-2 on the year. Bob Huggins got his Big 12 conference program absolutely rolling. Their only losses came to St. John's back in December, losing by just 2 points, losing by a bucket, as well as losing by 7 to Kansas on January 4th. Since that Kansas game, they've put away Oklahoma State, beating them by 14, getting rid of Texas Tech, beating them by 12, as well as TCU, beating them by 32 as well. Hold on one second. Okay, so beating TCU by 32 absolutely on the roll. They're on the road against Kansas State today, guys, and they have proven that they can win on the road. They've got away wins against Oklahoma State. They beat Youngstown State on the road by 11. They had a big win against Pittsburgh in the beginning of the year, beating them by 15. Their only 2 losses did come on the road as well, though. Taking a look at Kansas State's struggling program, going 7-9 so far on the year. Bruce Weber, the head coach of the Wildcats, his team is in an absolute downward spiral. All right, an absolute downward spiral. They have lost 4 straight. They've actually lost 6 out of their last 7 games. They lost to Mississippi State. They lost to St. Louis. They squeezed in a win, barely winning by 2, 69-67 against Tulsa back on December 29th. Since then, they have not won another game. They have not won in the month of January. That is over half over, losing to Oklahoma, TCU, Texas, and Texas Tech. It doesn't matter if the game's home or away. They have been absolutely just getting pummeled. All right, it doesn't matter where. Shane asked, am I a USC college basketball fan? Definitely. I am a diehard Trojan fan. Doesn't matter if it's girls badminton or college football or anything in between. Definitely a big fan. Hold on one second, folks. Give me 1 second. Okay. Customer of mine asking me about a game, a discrepancy in the line, but he was looking at the wrong sport. All right, so taking a look at Kansas State, back to them, guys. An absolute just train wreck. Bruce Weber looking for anything positive. Anything positive. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, they're running into a Mountaineers team that is on top of their game. They're 3-1 in conference play. Their only conference loss, guys, in the Big 12 so far came against Kansas. And let me tell you, they hung in there neck and neck for the entire game. Kansas State, 0-4 in conference play. Haven't won in the month of January. Haven't won at home since December 29th. And here they are. Ryan, good morning. Glad to have you with us. Here they are, going to be in for a tough task tonight. Taking a look at the Insta-game prep between both teams, guys. First of all, when you're comparing them side by side, first of all, there's no doubt about it. West Virginia's offense is night and day compared to Kansas State. All right, night and day. Now, Kansas State's defense is no slouch. All right, yeah, their record doesn't show that. They have a lot of losses on their record. However, they've definitely got a lot of losses against quality programs. Pittsburgh, Marquette, St. Louis, Oklahoma, TCU, Texas, Texas Tech. So it's not like they're losing to just gimme teams. No doubt about that one. Based on adjusted efficiencies, when you adjust the numbers, based on strength of competition, strength of schedule, believe it or not, Kansas State has the 54th best defense in all of Division I based on adjusted efficiencies. West Virginia, number 1 with adjusted efficiencies. Now, when you take a look at just conference play, West Virginia still number 1 in the Big 12 on defense. They're also 7th on offense and struggling from out deep in conference play, and we'll talk about that here in a second. So as far as shooting-wise goes on offense, Kansas State hitting 48% from the field, same exact number for West Virginia. Offensive rebound capabilities. West Virginia, holy hell, 38.8% of all their rebounds are coming from the offensive glass. Just 28% for Kansas State. Hold on one second. Okay. So, offensive rebounding. Huge advantage, West Virginia. 3-point shooting. Slight advantage, Kansas State. West Virginia, this is one area where they struggle besides free throw shooting. They've been struggling from the three-point range, hit just 30%. Kansas State knocking down 32.3%. 2-point plays, every jump shot, layup, and dunk. Another avenue where West Virginia is just not excelling at. It's one of the reasons why their offense is actually not, a higher ranked program than where it's at. They're converting just 49.2% of the time, 48.1% for Kansas State. Free throw shooting, both teams suck. 66%. We'll just be blunt about it. 66.6%. The 3-6s for Kansas State. 64.9% on the year for West Virginia. When you're taking a look at these numbers in conference play, let's take a look. First of all, Kansas State's free throw shooting actually dropped in conference play, and so did West Virginia. West Virginia's shooting just 60% in conference play, and their three-point shooting is actually down to 25.7%. Kansas State's three-point shooting actually dropped 3% in conference play. Two-foul participation. For everybody that's not familiar with what that number is and why it's important, it's basically a coaching strategy and a coaching style. When and if a coach will allow his players to play with 2 fouls in the first half, obviously they don't want to risk a third foul. Some coaches are more than likely to allow their players to play, and this is a percentage on what they average allowing their players to play with 2 fouls. Kansas State, 4.5%. West Virginia, 11.6% of the time. It's not a high number. What that means, so let's just say for the Kansas State, or West Virginia, that's easier. 11.6% of the time. We're going to round down and we're just going to say 10%. So if Derek Culver for West Virginia picks up 2 fouls at the 10-minute mark, means there's 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Generally speaking, most coaches pull the player, you go to the bench. Well, the coaching strategy for West Virginia, for Bob Huggins, is he'll allow his players to play up to 11% of the playing time remaining with 2 fouls in the first half. So if they get 11% and there's 10 minutes remaining, 11%, you're at 1.1, so a little over a minute on average. So not much. It's really when you get into the 30 percentile and above that is an actual big number. Hold on one second. Okay. So, 2 foul participation, null and void, not a big deal in this one. Definitely, I do side with Shane. I do lean towards West Virginia in this one. The only thing, it's actually not even really scaring me, but conference games on the road are something that I definitely watch out for. Kansas State's in a back up against the wall situation. They need a win. They need a win desperately, especially in conference play. So that's one avenue to look at. However, West Virginia, they're the better team on offense. They're the better team on defense. They travel exceptionally well. Home court advantage for Kansas State. Is there one? Obviously, there's generally one, for most teams. However, Kansas State, they get a big one here. They get a home court advantage ranking of 4.0. The Bramlage Coliseum holds 12,500 fans, and actually it's the 13th toughest place to play in all of Division I. All right, so definite lean West Virginia on this one. Great game to pick out for a breakdown, Shane. But I do lean towards West Virginia, and I do like it. So I didn't play it myself. I don't have any money on it. However, that may change as the day progresses. I may put a little extra money on it just because I do like the game myself. I didn't use it as one of my personal plays. I already texted out my 3 personal plays to everybody, which happened to be all college basketball this morning. And I thought there was a little bit better of a low dangling fruit than this, because the one thing that did scare me is, one, where Kansas State plays, it is a huge home court advantage. They're the 13th toughest place to play in all of Division I. So it's definitely a tough place to play for West Virginia to come in on the road. However, West Virginia, they've traveled well. They've won on the road. A lot of teams are not capable just to win on the road. You know, they struggle on the road. They get away from their home court and they struggle. West Virginia, the Mountaineers, have shown that they can win on the road. They've got quality, and not just wins, they've got quality wins on the roads. You know, they've got a win over Pittsburgh. Yes, it was back in, the second week in November. They have that on the road. They also beat Youngstown State, which is not a big competition game for them on the road. But they just beat Oklahoma State on the road January 6th. They're coming off of a nice, easy blowout victory over TCU on January 14th, just last Tuesday, guys. And they do have 2 losses on the road that were really close losses against Kansas and St. John's. Both that. And they travel exceptionally well on neutral site games. They beat Ohio State on a neutral site game. They beat Wichita State on a neutral site game. They beat Northern Iowa on a neutral site game. So neutral site is still away from their home court. So I definitely factor that into the equation. Shane says Kansas State's offense will struggle. And the only thing that does scare me as far as West Virginia goes is their conference play numbers. They might be 3-1 in conference play, but their shooting is subpar to start with. And then when you get into conference play and you look, they're actually one of the worst teams in the Big 12 with turnovers, turning the ball over 26% of the time. All right, they're at 26% of the time. All right, they actually have a worse turnover percentage in conference play than Kansas State. That's one of the things. However, their offensive rebounding capability went up. They're up to over 41.5% for offensive rebounds. What else can we say? Their three-point shooting dropped to 25%. Their free throw shooting dropped to 60% in conference play. And it's those turnovers that scare me. That's the only thing that scares me about West Virginia. Shane, there's an absolute ton of games today. A ton of games today. So for everybody that wants to know, I just got a couple emails from a couple individuals asking about a FC's UFC fight card. No, the Max Fight Pick is not included in the actual card for $29.99. The Max Fight Pick is $25 all by itself. It comes with a money-back guarantee, or not a money-back guarantee, but a win or you get the next one free guarantee on it. Guaranteed to win or you get the next one absolutely free. So it is separate from the actual UFC card itself. It's actually separate from the UFC card itself. But I just looked at my phone. There's 3 emails there on that one. So I replied to one of them. I'll reply to the other 2 shortly. But if you're one of the 3 individuals watching, I just texted out, or not texted out, but said that information right here on the live chat for you guys. Excuse me. So with that being said, let's break down some more games. All right, let's break down some more games. Let's do an early game for you guys today. Let's touch on an early game for you guys. Let's go right to the Ohio State-Penn State game. I'm sure some of you guys are going to be wanting this game or actually betting this game. If you guys are thinking about betting this one, or you already did bet this one, let's have some fun. Let's get some user interaction going. You guys are too quiet this morning, all right? I shouldn't be the only ones yapping, all right? So post up in the comment section. Are you rolling with Ohio State? Are you taking Penn State? You taking the over, or you taking the under? All right, this is game 601, 602. Line opened up, Ohio State laying 1. It is down to a pick-em now at 5 dimes in the Westgate. DraftKings actually has Ohio State laying a half a point, which basically it's a pick for them as well. The D Casino actually has them laying 1.5. Caesars -1. A pick everywhere else, BetDSI, as well as Bovada. Total opened up at 137.5, and it seems to be 137.5. Although the stations and Bovada have 138, DraftKings 138.5. Post up in the comment section who you guys are rolling with. Tar Heel Tim in the house. What is going on? Shane says he's rolling with Penn State. Kathy, Gary, whichever one or both of you, good morning. Jamar says Ohio State, baby, on the live stream app. For everybody that is just tuning in, we are streaming in multiple locations. We're streaming on Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook Live, our website, cappersdirect.com, via the amazing live stream app, which has the best live chat out there, as well as YouTube, because the haters said we can't stream on YouTube. All right, we got Kathy and Gary this morning. Welcome. Thank you both for joining us as well. We're going to be breaking down game 601, 602, Ohio State and Penn State now. First of all, let's take a look at Ohio State. Can we say losing 4 straight? They just bounced back with a 12-point victory over Nebraska on Tuesday. Thanks, Oliver. Appreciate it. Who Dat Bob says, I'll stay away. Oliver says Ohio State. Ohio State, they lost 4 straight games before getting a victory on Tuesday. All right, they lost to West Virginia, Wisconsin, Maryland, and Indiana. All right, they just picked up their second conference win over Nebraska. They're now 2-4 in conference play in the Big Ten Conference, guys. They were actually rolling. If you guys remember, Ohio State had everything rolling. They started out the year 9-0. Then they ran into Minnesota. Then the wheels kind of started to churn and start turning just a little bit more. All right, they had a win over Southeast Missouri State. They shocked everybody. They beat Kentucky, and it was like, Ohio State, they're for real. They beat Kentucky. Then they lost 4 straight. And here we are. Here we are today. They finally got one victory after losing 4 straight. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games. They're going to be going up against a Penn State team, 12-5 guys. Pat Chambers has his Big Ten Conference Nittany Lions and backs up against the wall as well. They're 2-4 in conference play. Both of these teams needing a must-win, big win here. Penn State losing 3 straight games. They lost to Rutgers, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, guys. Before that, they had a big win over Iowa on a semi-home game, which actually gave them their second conference win on the year. They've got conference losses to Ohio State, Rutgers, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, and their only other conference win was against Maryland back on December 10th. Pat Chambers needs to get his Nittany Lions rolling, and no doubt about it, he's going to have his hands full with Ohio State today. The Bryce Jordan Center, guys, home court advantage. It's actually the 25th largest arena there in all of Division I. It does have a home court ranking of 3.5. Not as a tough place to play as Kansas State. However, it does have a home court ranking. It does make it the 105th toughest place to play in Division I. So you're going to give 1.5 to 2 points on the line, basically just for home court advantage. So if the Lions had to pick them, if this was a neutral site game, then Ohio State would be laying 1.5 or 2 on a neutral site game. I know somebody asked, I don't know where it went. Let me see that question. I know there was a question before. Eddie, Sports Money, Kyle, what system do you use to get those that great data? We use Stats LLC, same thing the casinos use. Stats LLC is the same thing the casinos use. Same thing ESPN gets their stats from Stats LLC. It's expensive to have it, but it definitely helps us out for long-term success. That's for sure. I mean, with a click of a button, I can go take a look at conference play results and conference play numbers as well. So this one going to be in the Bryce Jordan Center, guys. Penn State, the home team, taking a look at both programs. Side by side, Ohio State, the better offense. However, not by much based on adjusted efficiencies. They're the 21st best offense in all of Division I. Penn State coming in ranked 43rd on our system as far as offenses go. Defenses, Same scenario. Penn State's got, or it's not Penn State, Ohio State's got the better defense, coming in with the 15th best defense with adjusted efficiencies in all of Division One. Penn State coming in not far behind them, 37th. All right, 37th. Ohio State knocking down 54% from the field, just 50% for Penn State. Offensive rebounds, both in the 30 percentile, 31.1% of all the rebounds by Penn State come from the offensive glass, just under 33% for Ohio State. Both of these teams great on offensive rebounds. Three ball, Ohio State, an excellent three ball shooting team, hitting 38.2%. Most teams struggle in conference play. Their numbers actually only dropped to 2%, 36.2% for three-point shooting in conference play, which is still well above the Division I average and an excellent number. And they're actually the number one three-ball shooting team in the Big Ten Conference. Penn State, they're hitting 30.7% all year long from out deep. That number did drop a little over a percent in conference play. Ohio State hitting 51.5% of all their two-point plays. Every jump shot, layup, and dunk. Penn State hitting 53.2%. However, both of these teams are actually down into the 46 and 47 percentile in conference play. Free throw shooting, Ohio State hitting 72%. Penn State just under 70 at 69.6%. Both of these numbers are actually up in conference play. Excellent free throw shooting in conference play. Penn State knocking down just under 72% and just under 74.5% for Ohio State. Now, two-foul participation protocol for both of these programs. Penn State will dabble in it a little bit, and so will Ohio State. Ohio State playing 14.6% of the time with two fouls in the first half, 21.8%. So you could roughly say, the 20 percentile for Penn State there. Height advantage, no real height. Actually, no real height advantage. Maybe a quarter inch on average per player. They both go to the bench for roughly the same. 33.8% of all minutes played by Penn State personnel are coming from the bench. 35.3% for Ohio State. Now, Ohio State relies on the three ball for over 36% of their total points. 36% of their total points come from out deep. 20.5% actually are from the free throw line. Whereas Penn State relies on just 30% from out deep and 17% from the free throw line. So in this one, guys, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't have a dollar on this game. You got to take a look at, what has Ohio State done on the road? Well, first of all, they had a big win over North Carolina on the road. All right, they lost to Minnesota on the road. Their wheels kind of fell off. They had a neutral site victory over Kentucky, and then since then they've lost to Minnesota on the road, Maryland, and Indiana. They lost their last three true road games on the road. Neutral site game is a whole different story. Taking a look at Penn State, they have lost at home. Wisconsin beat them at home, and they beat them by they beat them by 9 points at home just on January 11th, last Saturday. So taking a look at, Penn State at home, not a big home court advantage, not that big of an advantage here. I think this is going to be a back and forth style game. I think either one of these teams can take it. I don't have a dog in this fight. If you forced me to take it, I'd probably take the over 137.5 here on the side of the game. I'm going to lay off of it, not even give an opinion. This one I think can go either way. I lean more towards Ohio State. However, both teams with their backs up against the wall. Ohio State not the best record on the road. Penn State with their most recent home game losing last Saturday to Wisconsin. So for that, I'm off the side of it. But if I was going to do anything, and I'm not, I would take the over 137.5. So remember, that's just a lean there on that one. Alrighty, so moving right along. KC Neverez, thanks for jumping on board. FC's Guaranteed Max Fight Pick. Prantia, thanks for jumping on board the UFC as well. You guys are going to like it. Definitely going to be a great time today. Always, 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 always going to be a great time. So, we're going to do another game day breakdown for you guys, see if we can get some more in. Alrighty. Now, we're going to do another game day breakdown for everybody. Let's take a look at another early game. We're going to take a look at the Seton Hall and St. John's game. That is another early action game, 12 p.m. Eastern time. For everybody that doesn't know, this is a neutral site game at Madison Square Gardens. A lot of reports are saying otherwise. However, this one is at Madison Square Gardens. Who dat Bob asking for the Butler and DePaul game. We will do that one next for you. Shane, do I do more money line betting or straight? I'd have to say it's probably more against the spread than money line. But I mean, if there's an advantage, let's just say the line's 2 and it's minus 120 or minus 125, yeah, I'll take the money line. Or minus 130, I'd rather have to win by 1 than have to win by 2 or 3 if there's value there. I'm a value bettor. So if there's value there, I'll do it. If not, then I'll lay the points. But, you know, remember my theory, juice is only juice. It's only a number. It only matters if you lose. But again, I'm more, I'd have to say, way more against the spread than any money lines that I put out. But I will take a money line. I'm not afraid to. Not afraid to at all. So next up, game 603, 604, the second game on the board, Seton Hall, St. John's. Seton Hall opening up as a 5-point favorite. That line is up to 5.5 at 5 dimes, 5.5 at the Westgate. Still 5 at the D Casino and Caesars. Stations has it at 5.5. Bovada and BetDSI all 5.5. 5.5 seems to be the common number. Total open up at 143. It is down to 140.5 at 5 dimes at the Westgate. At the D Casino still has it at 140. Caesars 141. Jose, what is going on? Thank you for tuning in. Glad to have you with us. Glad to have everybody with us. Going to be breaking down the Seton Hall and St. John's game right now. First up, the Seton Hall Pirates, guys. Kevin Willard's program is rolling. 13-4 on the year. They have not lost since December 14th. It's been over a month since their last loss, when they lost back-to-back games on the road. Since then, they've put away Maryland, Prairie View A&M, DePaul, Georgetown, Xavier, Marquette, Butler, and now they get St. John's at the Madison Square Garden. Taking a look at St. John's, guys. The Red Storm, coached by Mike Anderson. Big East Conference game, guys. Big East Conference game. They have lost 4 out of their last 5 games. They lost to Providence, Georgetown, Xavier, and Butler with a win over DePaul, beating them by 7 at home. Here they are in a tough battle, if you ask me. I definitely, right off the bat, I can tell you I definitely favor Seton Hall in this one. Right off the bat. When you start taking a look at some of these numbers, you're going to see why. All right, first of all, Seton Hall hitting just under 52% from the field. St. John's 45.4%. Now, one thing that St. John's does well is offensive rebounds. They just don't convert with them. All right, they're hitting 32.5% of all the rebounds are from the offensive side, just 28% for Seton Hall. Out deep shooting, three-point range. Seton Hall knocking down 33.8%, just 28.9% for St. John's. Seton Hall, 52.3% of all their two-point plays, every jump shot, layup, and dunk. All right, that number's actually up to just under 56% during the Big East Conference play. St. John's, 46.4% of all their two-point plays. That number's even lower in conference play. Free throw shooting, Seton Hall hitting a clean 70%. That number's up to 72.6% in conference play. St. John's, even Steven at 70 as well, all the way around. Two foul participation. Both teams participate a little bit. 15% of the time for Seton Hall. 15% of the time for St. John's. 17.9% for Seton Hall. Seton Hall does have about 1.25 inches height advantage over all players. They both go to the bench for quite a bit. Big, deep benches. Seton Hall, 40.2% of all playing time will be by bench personnel. 36.4% for Seton Hall. Seton Hall relying on 32% of their total points to come from out deep. 19% from the free throw line. Big numbers here. Lost my train of thought. I was looking at a comment and lost my train of thought. Eddie Sports Money says Baylor easy money today. Or he's asking, is Baylor easy money today, Kyle? I don't know. We didn't break down that game. Shane says Seton Hall all day. Who dat Bob? Bobby says I'm on Seton Hall. I think Seton Hall's a good play on this one. Seton Hall laying 5.5. If you could still get it at 5, it's still 5 at a couple spots. Still 5 at a couple spots. However, I think you're going to end up getting 5.5 on this one, but I do lean towards Seton Hall laying the 5.5. As far as the total, I think the total is priced right. The total is at 140.5 right now. When you're taking a look at the final score, I think the final score is roughly, our system actually has it coming in at 141. So what our system has with the stats compiled from Stats LLC put into our system has a final score prediction of 141. Total being over and under 140.5. I think I'll pass. So too close for me there. But I do lean towards Seton Hall laying the juice in this one. Mitch Klein says Maryland is the pick today, I think. Stephen Ruth says Oklahoma State all day. Shane says I like Baylor too. All right, next game that we're going to do. We're going to throw in one mid-afternoon game. Oregon at Washington. The Ducks at the Huskies, guys. Ducks coming off that big loss the other day. If you guys remember, we were on the Ducks as a free play against Washington State. We're going to break down this game here in just a second. Going to break down this game in just a second. It's going to be game 691, 692. All right, so game 691, 692. Ducks opened up as a 1-point favorite. That line, believe it or not, is up to 2, and it's trending higher. If you're going to be back in the Ducks, I'd bet it sooner than later. We're already seeing 2.5 at a couple books here in Vegas. Bovada has 2.5 as well. The D Casino, Stations Casinos property is 2.5. Total opened up at 131.5. It's actually down 2 points to 129.5. Let's take a look at both of these programs, see what we can find. I don't, for full disclaimer, no, Prantia, that's just a New Jersey rule. I can bet on the Nevada Wolfpack. I could bet on UNLV and then go to the game. We can bet on any. That's just a weird New Jersey thing. So, Shane, I looked at them today. I think they have a tough game today, but they should be able to pull it off. I don't have a play on that on the Auburn game, though, but I think they should be able to pull it off. Oregon, guys, take a look at what they did on Thursday. Big loss. 9-point favorite, losing outright by 11. I doubt they're worried about point shaving. I think it's just one of the resolutions that they had to have in there in order to make sports betting legal. Washington State beat the Ducks, guys, 72-61. Ducks struggled on the road. And the Ducks have some big road wins this year. They had a big road win against Utah, although they did lose to Colorado, if you guys remember. They also had a big road win against Michigan in overtime. And then a neutral site game against Seton Hall. One aspect where the Ducks struggle is on the road. Here they are. They're going to try and bounce back on the road against Washington. The last time they lost on the road, they bounced back with a nice big win over Utah the very next day. 2 days later. Same situation here. Ducks 14-4. Dana Altman, his Ducks guys, he had them rolling. They've had a slight little slip up in conference play. They're 3-2 in conference play with losses against Washington State and Colorado. They also have wins in conference play over Utah, Arizona, and Arizona State. They beat Arizona in OT, if you remember. Taking a look at Washington, guys, they're 12-6 on the year. Mike Hopkins got his Huskies definitely in a pickle. They've actually lost 4 out of their last 6 games. And they are coming off a win over Oregon State, beating them 64-56 on Thursday. However, they have lost 4 out of their last 6 to Houston, UCLA, Stanford, and Cal. But Stanford's no slouch, and they gave them a run for their money, and they lost by 6 a week ago Thursday. Huskies 2-3 in conference play. Their only wins coming against my USC Trojans, as well as Oregon State just 2 days ago on Thursday. Here they are, guys. They get Oregon at home. Taking a look for the Huskies' home court advantage. Alaska Airlines Arena, guys, holds 9,200 fans, just under 93. It does actually have a tough 3.7 home court advantage ranking. Makes it the 62nd toughest place to play in all of Division I. So you're going to give a clean 2-point advantage, maybe 2.5, if not a 2.5 advantage for the Huskies playing at home against the Ducks, especially against a Ducks team that doesn't travel all that well. They've had a couple shining moments on the road, but however, as far as a true road caliber team goes, Oregon has definitely struggled. Taking a look at the numbers, offensive numbers, you can't deny what Oregon's capable of doing. When they lost to Washington State, it's because they gave up 11 three-pointers. Oregon's going to need to do a better job at defending the three, all right? And in conference play, in the Pac-12 conference, they're actually giving up 36% to opposing teams trying to drop threes on them. All right, that's a big number. Washington State, I think, hit like 50% from out deep. I think they went 11 of 22 or 11 of 20, something like that. Ridiculous number. Okay, Oregon, no doubt about it. They're a great three-ball shooting team. They were actually cold from three-point range in their loss against Washington State. I think they hit 33%. They averaged 39.1% all year long. All right, but most notably 55.5% from the field, just 51.7% for Washington. Offensive rebounds, 32.4% of all the rebounds are from the offensive glass, just 28% for Washington. They're hitting 39% from out deep, whereas Washington's hitting 32% all year long. Oregon's converting all those jump shots, layups, and dunks, all those two-point plays, 53.6% of the time. Similar number for Washington. Free throw shooting, this is one area where Oregon has struggled, hitting just 67.6%. Conference play, that number's up a tad to 68.5%. Washington free throw shooting 71%. However, in conference play, they've struggled. They're now hitting 65% in conference play. 2-foul participation. This is one area where Washington struggles, and this is why you're seeing them with 12-6 record. This is why you're seeing them lose 4 out of the last 6 games. They have put themselves in foul trouble early and often, and it's left Mike Hopkins, the coach of the Huskies, guys, no choice but to play players. 2-foul participation for Washington is extremely high, 56%. Oregon, just 15%. So definite 2-foul participation advantage towards Oregon here, guys. Should definitely give them some easy buckets, especially down low. I can't see them trying to defend down low very well once they reach that 2-foul mark, because not one of those kids, Jaden McDaniels, Isaiah Stewart, Nazar Carter, Quade Green, Hamir Wright, none of them are going to want to risk that 3rd foul early in the first half. And knowing that coach allows them to play, over 50% of the remaining time, they're going to be down to the bucket, and it's basically, going to be a lump on a log in the way, because they're not going to be swatting after loose balls and jumping and diving for things, risking a sloppy 3rd foul, that's for sure. And that's one thing that we've seen with the Huskies so far this year, and that's one of the reasons why they're struggling, especially in conference play. So on this one, I do lean towards the Ducks to get the nice big bounce-back victory today. Ducks laying 2, I think is a great number right there. -1 was, a little bit better. But when you take a look at, the money lines, Shane asked me, do I take more money lines than I do straight bets? The answer to that was no. But in this situation, let's take a look at the money line, because there may be better value at laying a tad bit more to win by 3 for a victory. So I've got my money line bet, or money line odds, courtesy of our website, cappersdirect.com, loading right now, live moneyline odds. And once all of that is up, we'll break it down for you guys, and we'll tell you guys the difference. Although I think my other computer just froze on me, so hang tight. Bear with me just a second. So when you're taking a look at this game and we're looking for the money line on this one, -145. 5 dimes is actually up to 2.5 since we started talking about it. So some of you probably went to go bet it already while we're talking about it. Smart. Obviously, you beat the line movement. However, Oregon laying 2.5, -$1.10, or you could take the money line at -145. To me, I'd rather take the money line. I'd rather lay a tiny bit more. I'd rather lay 35 cents more and have to win by 1 than have to actually win by 3 and cover. So I do think I don't think it's going to be a blowout victory. I think Washington plays them tough. Obviously, conference road game for Oregon, trying to get that big bounce back. I think it'll be a situation like it was against Utah after they lost to Colorado not too long ago. But as far as that goes, I definitely lean towards Oregon, and I like them on the money line a lot more than I do laying the 2.5. Excuse me, because it was 2 when we started the breakdown. Now it's 2.5. Anthony, I'm getting your guaranteed Saturday up and running for you. Hang tight 1 second. We'll get that enter that promo code for you. Get your card run, and you'll have it activated in your account. All right, Anthony, if you're listening, sir, it is done. You are all good to go, brother. Thanks for jumping on board Guaranteed Saturday. We use that promo code for you to save $50. If you guys want to be saving $50 on Guaranteed Saturday, just enter the promo code SAT50, SAT50. It gets $50 off Guaranteed Saturday. Guaranteed Saturday is $150. Guaranteed a winner, you get the next one absolutely free. Laura says, love your personal picks today. Thank you, Laura. I do appreciate that. And jumped on board on a great day. Hopefully be a nice big 3-0 for everybody. There's a possibility I might have more later on my personal plays. So if I do, I will text them out to everybody as well. If I do, I will definitely text them out to everybody. Fast Freddy, I'll take a hard look at that for you if you're watching, brother, as soon as we get off the live show as well. So we're going to do another game day breakdown. We've done 4 of them so far. Try and get you guys through a couple more if we can. Definitely want to keep the winners coming your way. Remember, you pick up 3 days of premium plays, $99. You can get 4 days. You can get Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, 4 days of premium plays. Or 4 days of my personal plays. Guaranteed Saturday. The UFC today. As well as the UFC Max Fight Pick all for $200. Tyler, I'll do that one after I have one more to do. Who Dat Bob requested a game shortly before yours, so we'll do that. We're gonna do we're gonna do the Butler and DePaul game now. We'll try and do that one, then we'll do the one that Anthony asked about, Alabama game 689 and 690. But first, we're gonna do the Butler and DePaul game for everybody. As far as our premium plays go, we only have one of them that's an early game. Everything else is after. Only one early game. Everything else is after. Okay? My personal plays, my first one goes off at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So I don't have any early personal plays. The first premium play is at noon Eastern time, college hoops. Then the second one doesn't start until 2 p.m. Eastern time. So plenty of time to get on board our plays, plenty of time to make yourself some money, plenty of time to ensure that you have a big winning weekend. Alrighty. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to make some money. I'm ready for these games to start. I'm ready to put some money in our pocket. So, next game day breakdown. Game 625, 626, Butler and DePaul. Let me open up that one for everybody. That's easy. That one's right here for us. Butler opening up as a 3.5-point favorite. It's pretty much 3.5, although it's trending to 4. So if you're rolling with Butler, I'd bet sooner rather than later. The D Casino's at 4. Bovada's actually at 4.5. Bet DSI 4. Everywhere else still seems to be 3.5. Total opened up at 129.5. We're still seeing that. DraftKings high at 131. Bet DSI 130. Everywhere else 129.5. The Butler Bulldogs, Big East Conference play, guys. They're coming off their loss to Seton Hall. They just lost by 8 on Wednesday to Seton Hall. They're 15-2 now. They're 3-1 in conference play. Seton Hall just gave them their first conference play loss. They were at home. They lost a home game. They are on the road. And what can we say about Butler on the road? They've got wins over Providence, St. John's, Mississippi on the road, a semi-road win against Missouri, a neutral site game against Stanford where they beat them on the road, as well as Purdue, a neutral site game. Their only losses, they only have one loss on the road, and it was against Baylor, losing by 1 point. So Butler, great road team. They travel well. DePaul, guys, 12-5 on the year, and 4 out of those last 5 losses all came in their last 4 games. Seton Hall, Providence, St. John's, Villanova, they're 0-4 in conference play. DePaul was absolutely rolling, guys. They were 12-1 on the year, and then it was like, Dave Lieto and his Blue Demons, the wheels just absolutely fell off. They absolutely fell off. Villanova, they took to OT, and they still lost. They ended up losing by 4 in OT. All right? Taking a look at the numbers side by side, because we're going to try and roll through a couple of these last 3 really quickly. That way we can definitely put you guys on it. Definitely get you guys on a nice big free play as well, maybe something else. But taking a look, guys, Butler and DePaul. Butler hitting 54% from the field, just 50.8% for DePaul offensive rebound capabilities. DePaul leading the charge there at just over 32%, just over 28% for Butler. 3-ball shooting, both teams shoot the 3-ball pretty well. Butler coming in just under 36%, just under 33% for DePaul. Those 2-point plays, every jump shot, layup, and dunk. Butler hitting 54.3%, 51.4% for DePaul. Free throw shooting. This is one area where DePaul really struggles all year long. Hitting just 63%. However, that number did go up in conference play to 68%, but they're still over 2% below the Division I average. Butler 71.2. Don't matter if it's in conference play, whether 3-1 or if it's all year. They're still hitting 71.2% from the charity stripe. 2-foul participation, Butler up to 21%, DePaul 13.7%. So not a big significant number. It's still enough to definitely keep it on your radar, but it's nothing that should swing the total in either direction, should have that much of an impact on it. Now, conference numbers, as far as Butler goes, pretty much remain the same, although their 2-point plays dropped from 54.3% to 51.5%. DePaul in conference play, their 3-point shooting actually they're already a decent 3-point shooting team at 32.9%. They're a tad bit below the Division I average, but when they went into conference play, guys, when it's a Big East Conference game, they're down to 26.7% shooting. Butler actually has the number 1 defense in the Big East Conference when it comes to defending the 3-ball. All right, to defending the 3-ball, they have the number 1 defense overall in the Big East Conference. Are actually the second best defense on adjusted efficiencies in all of the Big East Conference. As far as this game goes, quick breakdown. I do lean towards Butler in this situation. They've played exceptional on the road. Looking for a monster bounce back over their loss against Seton Hall, looking to avenge that loss, bring them to 4-1 against conference play, going to be trying to take advantage of a Blue Demons team that is definitely struggling. DePaul's looking for that big win, guys. They're 0-4 in conference play. They don't want to go 0-5, but I don't think they have what it takes to keep up with good old Butler today. So I do lean towards Butler, which is game 625, 626. Butler laying the 3.5. And in this situation, you take a look at the money line aspect of it. Butler laying 175. It's not a buy to me. However, one that would have persuaded me, and I don't have that options, is DraftKings. Now, this could be a delayed number. DraftKings may not have updated it yet, but DraftKings says they actually have the money line at minus 157. If I could get it at 157, I'd probably take the money line rather than having to win by 4. But and that's me. That's me personally. If you're going to buy the hook, you might want to look, at just buying it down and taking the money line. So, because then you're only talking if you can get DraftKings, if you're capable. Because there's a couple books here in town. The D Casino has it at minus 165. If you're going to buy the hook and you're going to take it down to -3, minus $1.20, you're better off laying 165 and taking it on the money line. That's my personal opinion. But again, to me, juice doesn't matter. Only matters when you lose. So, but again, I do like Butler laying the 3.5 on the road. Obviously, 3's better than 3.5. Now I know Anthony wanted a game 689, 690. We'll break down that game. Missouri and Alabama. Let me get that one up for you guys. We're going to roll right through these games. I'm going to pull up my stat sheet for this game. There we go. I passed it the first time. 3:30 Eastern Time, SEC Network. Magnificent Boy says, I'm scared of it. I just took the over. I wish you luck on the over. No opinion for myself on that one. One second, folks. I'm going to get everything up and running for this Alabama-Missouri breakdown. Brian, you have 100-mile-an-hour winds up by you? Or, in Newfoundland? Alex, good morning. Vincent, you're going to like it. If you've never been, you're going to love it. Vincent, if you want to bet on that fight, head over to our website. Jump on board. There's a free UFC fight pick under the UFC tab. Also, you can get the entire UFC fight card as well as FC's guaranteed max fight pick. Max fight pick is $25 guaranteed to win. You get the next one free. He's 10-0-1 out of the last 11. The actual UFC card just $29.99. Killer deal. Alrighty. Remember, they do have the NHL up there. It wasn't advertised, wasn't emailed out to anybody. Not yet anyways. I'm sure they will at one point. But NHL package 2-0 yesterday with a plus 220 dog winner in the Anaheim Ducks. You can also get an entire week of our NHL package on sale. Just $50 for the entire week. Which, killer deal. Killer deal. Hold on one second, folks. Alrighty. Dan, thank you, sir. I see you just jumped on board FC's UFC. You're going to love it. FC's UFC is a ton of fun. Brian says got guaranteed Saturday, 4 premiums, 2 hockeys, got a lot of winners. Absolutely, Brian, you definitely have a ton of winners. You're gonna love it today. I know you enjoyed that my game of the week yesterday, Brian, as well as everybody. Dan, thanks for jumping on board the not only the UFC card but the max fight pick as well. All right, so game we're going to break down. Missouri at Alabama. All right, popping up the odds on this one. Game 689, 690. Fast Freddy, I appreciate that. And again, for everybody tuning in, morning Jerry, for everybody tuning in on, we're streaming in multiple places. We're streaming on Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, Facebook Live, our website, cappersdirect.com, the live stream app. If you're watching on the live stream app, you have nothing to do. Just hang out, keep enjoying, keep taking notes, and let's make some money. If you're watching on YouTube, we're streaming on YouTube because the haters say we can't. If you're on YouTube and you're new to our channel, first of all, hit that subscribe button right now. If you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button and tap that little bell right next to it. We go live 7 days a week. We put out content, free content, 365 days a year, rain, shine, sick, healthy. It doesn't matter if we're on vacation. We still put out content to you. And remember, if you come to our YouTube channel, let's just say tomorrow, we're not going to stream 7 days a week live on YouTube, but we will stream 7 days a week live on our website. Same thing with daily free play content. So if you come to our YouTube channel tomorrow and you're like, oh my God, where's Kyle? Where's Cappers Direct? Did they go out of business? No. We just chose not to post on YouTube. So that means you need to go to our website, our place of business, our home, where we actually put out content every single day. Okay? But again, if you want to be notified when we do put out content on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Tap that little bell right down below. Who dat Bob listening on live stream and watching the YouTube chat? That's awesome. That's awesome. Definitely more people chatting in YouTube, no doubt about it. But the live stream is actually, for listening and watching and chatting overall, is a much better experience. But I'm not saying for you guys to leave YouTube and go over there. Either one is fine. I monitor both chats. That's just Who Dat Bob, the diehard listening on the better stream, but chatting where there's more chat. That's for sure. So Alabama opened up as a 6-point favorite. They're up to 7, guys. Total is hanging around where it opened, 146.5. It's still hovering around there just about everywhere. Taking a look at Missouri, guys, the Tigers, Kinzomo Martin, the Missouri Tiger coach, guys, his program 9-7 on the year. 9-7 on the year. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 games. But let's be honest. They've had some tough competition. That's a fact. 3 out of their last 4 games, the games they lost: Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi. Their win was at home against Florida last Saturday. All right, they've lost 3 out of their last 4, trying to turn their program around. They're 1-3 in conference play in the Southeast Conference, guys. SEC play. They're only 1-3. They're on the road against Alabama, guys. What can we say about them? 9-7 as well. Most of their losses came in the beginning of the year. Their first 4 losses came out of their first 6 games. Since then, they've been able to win a couple, lose one, win a couple more, lose one, win a couple, lose one. All right, they just lost last Saturday to Kentucky, losing by 9. They bounced back with a big win over Auburn, and it wasn't just any big win. It was a 19-point victory over Auburn on Wednesday. Slaughtered them. Absolutely slaughtered them. Now, what's going to happen with Nate Oates' team today? Let's take a look. Let's compare side-by-side numbers. And let's see. First of all, Alabama, Nate Oates' team today. Probably the better offense. Missouri's defense, on paper, they're the better defense. However, Auburn can definitely plead a case on why their defense is up to par with what Missouri puts out. Now, Missouri, they've definitely had a fairly tough schedule. They played Northern Kentucky, Xavier, Butler, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Tennessee, Florida, and Mississippi. All right, whereas Alabama, you take a look at their schedule. They had a loss to North Carolina. They lost to Iowa State. They lost to Penn State. They lost to Florida. They had a win over Mississippi State, a win over Auburn, and a loss to Kentucky. So comparable schedules, but I definitely give Missouri the edge to the schedule here. When you're taking a look at them side by side, Missouri knocking down just under 50% from the field, 51.8% for Alabama. Offensive rebounding capability, very similar numbers, 30 percentile for both teams. 3-ball shooting, Alabama coming in hitting just under 36% of all their three-pointers. That number is actually down in conference play to 33. However, the Missouri defense in conference play is actually giving up 39.5% three-point shooting. Missouri hitting 31.5% from out deep as well. 2-point plays, every jump shot, layup, and dunk. Slight edge to Missouri, but not enough to actually make it a factor here. Hitting just under 52%, whereas Alabama's coming in hitting 50%. Missouri free throw shooting, 73% free throw shooting for Missouri, 71% for Alabama. As far as having turnovers. Turnovers are very similar numbers, decided by 2%, which in college basketball will separate the difference between being 180th and 50th and in Division I with being just a couple percentile. So not big of a difference there, but it is a couple percent. Two foul participation. This is where I think Missouri has an advantage here. Alabama will allow their players to play up to 35% of the playing time. That's a coaching strategy employed by Nate Oates. When one of his kids pick up 2 fouls in the first half, Kira Lewis, Jaden Shackelford, Herbert Jones, when one of those kids pick up 2 fouls in the first half, they're going to be allowed to play 35% of the playing time. That's definitely going to give an advantage to Missouri. It's going to give more. Less likely that Alabama goes for ridiculous loose balls. They're not going to want to risk a third sloppy foul. Yes, I know the screen's frozen. I've got it unfrozen now, so you guys should start seeing it here shortly. But it should definitely be unfrozen as well on the screen, so hopefully. So, but no, definite advantage with a 2 foul participation. Missouri only playing in at 12% of the time. Height advantage. There's a distinct height advantage. Not much, a little over a half-inch height advantage. Go to the bench. Missouri goes to the bench for 36% of the minutes for playing time by bench personnel compared to the 29% for Alabama in this one. When you're taking a look at the numbers on this one, Alabama laying 7 now. That line is up to 7. This is a 3:30 Eastern time game, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if this one goes to 7.5, possibly 8. I think there'll be more money rolling in on Alabama. They'll be trying to, Missouri, they've lost 3 out of their last 4. They don't travel well. Although, they've got a road win against Temple. Other than that, they don't travel well. People are going to be putting their money on Alabama, but I don't think Alabama's the play here. I think Missouri plus the 7 is the better play. I think it's the better buy. I'm not betting it myself, but that may change later in the day. I haven't released all of my personal plays yet. I have released 3 of them, and there's a possibility that we'll have some more. I have a couple things to confirm with people to make sure certain personnel are playing, but as far as this one goes, I do like the dog here. I do like the road dog. I know their back's up against the wall. I know they've lost 3 out of their last 4. They had that big win, 91-75. It was a home win over Florida, but nonetheless, it was a victory. They played Tennessee tough. They lost by 10 at home as well. Taking a look, Alabama struggled against Florida. Yeah, it went to 2 OT on the road, and they ended up losing in double overtime by 6. But some similarities between both teams, and based on the way they play and the percentages and the way Alabama's been playing down to competition in conference play. Alabama 2-2 in conference play. Missouri 1-3 in conference play. The numbers that I don't like in conference play are the fact that Alabama's 3-ball shooting went down. All their 2-point plays went down. Their free throw shooting is roughly the same. They're having more shots blocked. Whereas Missouri's 3-ball shooting went up. Their 2-point plays have always been low, and it just went a tad bit lower, not much more. 3-point shooting went down just a little bit, not much. But one aspect that I like is I think it's a lot of points for a close conference game. I think this is going to be a 3-4 point game. Shane just said it right there. He thinks Alabama wins by 3 or 4. If you're wanting to bet Alabama, I think you need to lay 310 on the money line. But I don't think that's the play. I think the smart play is Missouri plus the 7. But I think if you wait, I think you'll get even 7.5 if you wait. So that's my play on that one. Let's see here. I know there was another game. Tyler asked for game 308061, 308062. Added game. We can definitely do that one for you. I don't see 308. What game is it? Or are you talking about 307? Maryland, Baltimore, and New Hampshire. I think there's better games to break down than that game, that's for sure. If that's what you're referencing about. Alrighty. Michael says Baylor, Virginia Tech, and Kentucky. Exactly. So if you're expecting 307, 061, I think there's better games to break down than that one. Considering it'll probably be one of our last games to break down. But we'll take a look at another game. Let me pull up my Insta-game preps here and see what we can pull up for you guys. We'll do the Marquette and Georgetown game. 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1. Coming in with the game numbers as soon as I pop one up. Game 657, which would be the Purdue and Maryland game. If we have time for that one when we're done, I'll definitely do that one. I should be able to squeeze in both of these. Alrighty. So, all the requests coming in now. Williams texting me game 719, 720. Alrighty. So, game that we're going to break down, the one that I already have up, Marquette and Georgetown, guys. Marquette and Georgetown for everybody. Just popping it up. Getting everything up and running. And then we'll squeeze in that other one for you guys, the Purdue and Maryland game next. Because that should be a good game too. And I know a lot of people were asking about that one earlier. It's funny, the game that I pull up, I can't even find the damn game number for, right? One day I'll find my game number. Give me 1 second. Scrolling through a million games. There we go. Marquette and Georgetown game 649 and 650. Going to be breaking down this one for everybody. Marquette, Georgetown. Georgetown opened up as a 3.5 point favorite. They're now laying 4. This game is definitely going up, guys. DraftKings has them at 4.5. 3.5 still in a couple spots. 5 dimes is up to 4. Total on this one opened up at 153.5. High total, it's up to 155.5 at the Westgate, 155 at 154.5 at DraftKings, 155 at 5 dimes. The D Casino's high at 156. Bet DSI is also 156. Andre, good morning. Good morning. Real quick rundown of these two games because we're going to do this game and we're going to do the next game. That way we can get you guys on a free play. All right. Marquette, 12-5 on the year. The Golden Eagles, they've lost 2 out of their last 3 games. They lost to Providence, Seton Hall. They did just win against Xavier on Wednesday. They had a nice big bounce back game. They beat them by 20. They're 2-3 in conference play. They're in the Big East, guys. We've been breaking down all kinds of Big East action today. Georgetown, 12-6 on the year. Patrick Ewing, the Hoyas, guys, coming off a big win over Creighton. They beat them by 3 points on Wednesday, guys. They're now 2-3 in conference play. They've actually lost 3 out of their last 5 games with losses to Providence, Seton Hall, and Villanova. And they weren't little losses. They lost by 16 to Providence. They lost by 16 to Seton Hall. Just a couple days after that, they had it squeaked in a big win, 21-point win over St. John's. But then they just got beat by 14 against Villanova last Saturday. So Georgetown definitely hasn't been trending in the right direction. They are 2-3 in conference play with wins over St. John's and then obviously Wednesday against Creighton. Taking a look, guys, home court advantage, Capital One Arena. It's got a home court ranking of 3.6, holds 20,600 fans. It's the 5th largest in all of Division One. It does come in with the 89th toughest place to play as far as everything that is compiled into that category. So it's definitely one of the tougher places to play in Division One. So you have to factor that into the line on the equation for Georgetown here. Where did everything go? So, with Georgetown laying 4 right now, you're going to factor 2 points into that. If it was a neutral site game, Georgetown would probably be favored by 2 here. All right. Taking a look at the offenses. First of all, Georgetown with adjusted efficiencies comes in with the better offense. Not much of a difference than Marquette. However, it does on paper come in with a better offense. As far as defenses go, Marquette's got the better defense with adjusted efficiencies. Taking a look at how both teams are playing. Georgetown hitting just under 51% from the field. Marquette hitting 51.4%. Offensive rebounding, this is where Georgetown excels. This is why they're actually ranked higher as far as offensive powerhouses go on paper. Hitting 35% of all their rebounds come from the offensive side. 29.4% for Marquette. Good morning, Don Doe. Thanks for joining us, brother. Glad to have you. Marquette, excellent 3-ball shooting team. 39.6%. 39.6%. Luckily for them, Georgetown struggles to defend the 3. All year long, they've been averaging giving up 36. However, in conference play, Georgetown's giving up 40% 3-ball shooting to opposing teams. All right, Georgetown's a 35% 3-ball shooting team themselves. That number is down a little bit in conference play. Georgetown excelling at those 2-point plays, hitting 50%. Marquette, this is where they struggle, 45.1%. That number is actually down to 43.8% in conference play. Marquette, an excellent free throw shooting team. Both teams, excellent free throw shooting teams. Marquette hitting just under 73% all year. That number is actually up to 79% in conference play. 75.5% in conference play for Georgetown. They're actually down 0.5%. They're hitting 76% all year long. Turnovers, low turnover numbers for both teams in the 19th percentile. 2-foul participation. Georgetown will participate roughly 20% of the time. That's just a head coaching strategy, guys, by Patrick Ewing. As far as 2-foul participation for Marquette, just 7% of the time. Hold on one second, guys. In 1 second. All right, so back to this one. 2-foul participation, not much of a factor, but I would watch it on the Georgetown side. Height advantage, half-inch height advantage to Georgetown. Experience level roughly the same. Bench minutes roughly the same. Marquette relies on that 3-ball 38% of the time. 38% of all their total points come from out deep. 22% free throws. All right, they definitely rely on their 3-ball and their free throws. Whereas Georgetown, they're not relying on the 3-ball. Just 24% of their total points come from out deep. 21% of their total points do come from the free throw line, though. So I definitely look to see who's going to be making their free throws down the stretch in this game. As far as this game goes, as far as a lean on this one, I like Georgetown. I liked them at 3.5. I did not play them, though. The line is up to 4 now. I like their home court advantage that they do have, and they do play well at home. They do play well at home. They've got, 2 home losses, and they were in the beginning of the season when they were struggling. They've definitely corrected it. They have not lost at home since November 30th against UNC Greensboro. Anyways, back to Georgetown, and that's the reason why I like them. They play tough at home. They haven't lost in quite some time. They've rattled off home wins against Syracuse, UMBC, Samford, American, most notably St. John's, and then Creighton on Wednesday. So as far as this one goes, I do lean towards Georgetown laying the points here, and I liked it better at 3.5, but 4, it's still definitely attractive. Give me 1 second, folks. We're going to do the next game day breakdown for you. All right, so I know there was another request. Oh, the Purdue and the Purdue game. We'll end it with the Purdue game. Then we'll get you guys on a nice big free play. We'll send you all on your merry way, and we're gonna put some big money in your pockets. So I'm gonna pop up the Purdue game for everybody. Let me get all that one up and running. I don't remember the game number off of that. 649, was it? Nope, that was the one we just did. 657. Purdue and Maryland. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me get all of that up. Purdue, Maryland, and wrong computer. I like when I use. I have 2 iMacs on the desk when I trying to open up a browser window, and I click the wrong button, the wrong command button on the wrong keyboard. All right, so let's roll into this one. Shane says, I really like Baylor today. Alrighty. So, guys, I wish I could break down every game for you guys. We've definitely been breaking down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games already. This is going to be the 8th game that we did as far as breakdowns go. I wish I had all day to do breakdowns for you guys, but unfortunately, I don't. Game 657, 658. Maryland opened up as a 5-point favorite. It quickly moved to 5.5 on this one. Matter of fact, it stayed at 5 for about 12 minutes, I think it was, because I watched this one when it first came out. 125.5 was the total where it opened up. It's still hovering right around between 125 at the Westgate, 125 at 5 Dimes, hovering right around that number as far as the total goes. As far as Purdue, 10-7 on the year. 10-7 on the year. They've lost 2 out of their last 3 games. They lost to Illinois, the Fighting Illini. They lost to the Michigan Wolverines. And double OT, as well as Michigan State, they did win. They bounced back with a big win over Michigan State last Sunday at home. Here they are on the road. They've actually lost their 2 last road games. And remember that game against the Fighting Illini. They lost 63-37. Purdue was limited to 37 points. All right, they definitely improved in their OT loss against Michigan. However, they definitely struggled. And Matt Painter, he's going to have his Boilermakers on their game today on the road. They've definitely shown that they struggle on the road. They have 1 home win on the road. Out of their 10 wins, only 1 have came on the road. They also have 1 neutral site game. So out of their 10 games, only 8 have actually came away from the Mackey Arena where they play best at home. Take a look at Maryland, guys. 13-4. 2 of their 4 losses in their last 2 games. Iowa, Wisconsin. They lost to Iowa 67-49 on the road. They lost to Wisconsin on the road 56-41 on Tuesday. Shane, it's definitely the most we've done in a while. Definitely hitting some good numbers today as far as breakdowns go. They definitely struggled in their last 2 games, both on the road, though. They're at home this time before they go on another 2-game road stretch. They're at home at the Xfinity Center, holds 17,950 fans. It's the 14th toughest. It does have a huge home court advantage. 3.9 ranking, making it the 36th toughest place to play. They defend their home court exceptionally well. Maryland has not lost at home this year. Have they had close games? Yes, they have. Yes, they have. The Fighting Illini gave them a run for their money. They beat them by 1 point at home. All right, they beat Illinois by 1 point at home. Also, interesting to note the way both of these teams are performing. Purdue has a very capable offense. So does Maryland. Maryland's offense, as far as numbers on paper, are better. However, there's aspects of the Purdue offense that I actually like better overall. Maybe not so today, but overall. One aspect, Purdue conference play, it's a struggle fest. Every number is in either light red or dark red when you take a look at the Boilermakers in conference play. And they're actually 3-3 in conference play. They're 3-3 in conference play. They actually have 3 wins. But wait till you hear these conference play numbers. 28% three-ball shooting, 42% from the field, 42% of all their 2-point plays, 61.9% free throw shooting in conference play. That's what I don't like about Purdue, and we're going to talk more about that here in a minute. Purdue hitting 48% all year long in conference play, all year long from the field. Similar numbers from Maryland. Both not the best shooting teams. All right, conference play, both of these teams have dropped. Maryland coming in at 43%, Purdue at 42% from the field. Who dat, Bob? You have to start putting a timer on the 5-minute breakdowns. We did that in March. Remember, 5 minutes apiece. 5 minutes apiece during March Madness. Turnover percentages. Purdue low, 17.5%. Maryland still on the low side, 18%. Titus should have had I had it somewhere. I had it in my drawer. Here we go. Just for you, Titus, on command. Purdue knocking down 33.3% from out deep all year long. Maryland, this is where they struggle, under 31%. Both teams struggle shooting, guys. 2-point plays. Purdue 46.7%, Maryland 48.3%. Conference play, these numbers are absolutely horrendous. 42% for both teams. All right, free throw shooting. Maryland, decent free throw shooting team, 72%. Actually, it's a pretty decent free throw shooting team. Purdue coming in 65% shooting from the free throw line from the charity stripe. On the charity stripe and conference play, guys, when both of these teams are Big Ten conference play, Purdue is down to 61.9% free throw shooting. Maryland is up to 74.5%. Okay, 2-foul participation. Both participate, but not enough to really matter. 17% for Maryland, 15% for Purdue. Purdue, height advantage, about a half-inch height advantage for Purdue on average per player. Actually, more than that, closer to an inch, believe it or not. Both go to the bench, but definitely Purdue leading the charge with 35% minutes played by bench personnel, just 24% for Maryland. Purdue's going to rely on the 3-ball for 33% of their total points. Just 15% of their total points is going to come from the free throw line. Thank God, because they can't knock them down. They definitely struggle from the free throw line. As far as this game goes, Maryland laying 5.5. I definitely lean towards Maryland in this situation. I do like them. It wasn't enough for me to actually bet the game for the sole fact that they have struggled as of late. They just lost to Wisconsin on the road. They just lost to Iowa on the road. Now, they do defend their home court, the Xfinity Center, exceptionally well. All right? Exceptionally well. Bang Bang Niner Gang says, nice winner on Miami over last night. Thank you. You're very welcome. That was nice premium play. So I do lean towards Maryland in this situation, guys. But I am scared of them based on the wheels falling off in their last 2 games. Based on their wheels falling off in their last 2 games, I'm definitely, somewhat afraid of them laying 5.5 at home. But they should definitely, I would think that they should be able to put away Purdue. But Purdue has shown that they can play and they can give up, make some teams struggle, especially on the road. They took Michigan to double OT when they lost. Butler, they ended up losing by 9. They had a Florida State OT neutral site game where they lost by 3 in overtime. So, they've had Their struggles are real on the road, and Maryland plays exceptionally well at home. Michael, I think you're correct on that number about the Big Ten teams on the road, 6-25. I'm pretty sure I've seen the same number. If Purdue makes threes, I do agree. Purdue should be able to hang in it. But the fact that Purdue is actually hitting 27.9% shooting, they're hitting 27.9% from three-point range in conference play. And Maryland is an exceptional team at defending the three ball. In conference play, they're holding teams at 28.7% shooting from out deep. So they're 3-3 in conference play. Both teams 3-3 in conference play. Purdue coming off their big win against Michigan State. The fact that Purdue bounced back, I mean, they got slaughtered by Illinois. They went on the road against a tough Michigan team, and they lost in double overtime. That showed a lot right there from Purdue. Then when they came back and they beat Michigan State at home by 29, just 3 days after that, after a very close, tough double OT loss to Michigan. Their big win against Michigan State has me liking Purdue, but I don't like them enough to want to put money on them. I think probably, I mean, if you force me to bet it, I mean, if I had to put my money on it, I'd put my money on Maryland, just for the sole fact of how they play at home. So with that one, I mean, I do lean towards Maryland. So, time to get you guys on a free play. I think you guys deserve a free play. I definitely think you guys deserve a free play. So, with that being said, let's get you guys on a free play. Remember, if you're looking for guaranteed Saturday, you have to be signed up by 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You have until 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I believe in our daily free play video I said 4, but it's actually 5. You have until 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You have until 5 p.m. Eastern Time to get on board. It's $150 guaranteed a winner. You get the next one free. However, please don't go pay the $150. Enter the promo code SAT50, all lowercase SAT50. It takes $50 off. So enter the promo code SAT50. There's a bunch of great promos, guys. UFC tonight, you don't want to miss it. UFC 246, it's $29.99 for the entire fight card. The guaranteed max fight pick, $25 guaranteed to win, or you'll get the next one free. FC has not lost a max fight pick in 11 UFC events. And it was actually 12 UFC events because he had one off in there where he did not put out a max fight pick. So out of the last 12, he hasn't lost one. Out of the last 11 that he's participated in, he's 10-0-1. 10 wins and a push. Or a draw because the fight was a draw, which got everybody's money back because it ends up being a push. So, if you're not on that one, you probably should be. Prantia says, digesting FC's fight picks. Glad I didn't try to do this one on my own. Definitely some surprises. Probably some big surprises in that one. If you want a free UFC fight pick also, free UFC fight pick for everybody. If you want a free UFC fight pick, it's on our website. It's 100% free. No credit card required. Nothing you need to do other than go to our website, cappersdirect.com. Click on the UFC tab at the top of the page. Scroll down to the very, 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 very bottom. And then you'll have it there. You get it right on the website. You get a big juicy write-up. You get all of that good stuff. It's 100% free, no credit card required. Jesse, you already know they're separate. You already know they're separate. I don't know how many times we've told you that. The max fight pick is not included in the UFC card. If you want the max fight pick, you have to purchase it separately. $25. $25. The card, $29.99. It's no different. Nothing's changed. No, there is no combined package. You're talking $29.99 and $25. You're talking less than the price of the actual pay-per-view event. So, free play for everybody. It actually dropped a half a point from when we put it out, which I'm not too concerned about. Free premium play, Baylor minus 5.5. There's a free premium play. Follow me on Twitter. I'll probably be giving away some stuff later today. You just never know what I might give away. We're going to have a good time today. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. If you don't, you should, at CapNationKyle. Here's a direct link. Here is a direct link. Remember, guaranteed Saturday, 5 p.m. And I'll be honest with you guys. The best package that we have right now, and it will be for today only. After today it's gone, I know a bunch of you have already taken advantage of it. It's 4 days of premium plays, or 4 days of my personal plays. You get guaranteed Saturday. You get the UFC card as well as the UFC Max Fight Pick for $200. Andre, if you see 7, I'd find a new book. Would I play 7? No, because I'm getting 5.5. If you're getting 7, I would definitely go get a new book. 5 dimes is 5.5. Maybe wait and it'll come down, because it has came down a half a point. It was at 6 this morning. It was at 6 this morning. So, I mean, there's a possibility that it'll come down, brother. You know, but at 7, your book's robbing you 1.5. I don't see anybody in the country that has 7. Hell, Bovada, which is the highest, is at, right now, Bovada is at 5.5. MGM is at 5. So the line is actually dropping. The Westgate is at 5. So you guys may wait. I know this is an early game, but you guys may, actually, you don't have much time to wait. Who dat, Bob? You got it at 5? My bookie has it at 7. Well, people are getting it at 5 and 5.5, brother. That's not a good line right there. So enjoy, fellas and ladies. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. It's always a pleasure. It's always a great time. Remember, if you're new to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, Periscope, live stream, our website, you don't got to do nothing. But if you're watching on YouTube right now, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Then tap that little bell. That way you get instant notifications. We'll be live again tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 Pacific, dark and early in the morning. We'll be live right here. And remember, if for some reason you can't find our live stream here on YouTube, we're still live. We're still posting daily free plays. We just posted on our website. All right? We posted on our website. So remember, guys, go check us out on the web. Get on board today. I look forward to working with each and every single one of you. As I always tell you guys, always, 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 good luck. Always bet within your means. And don't do anything stupid. And that don't do anything stupid, that's kind of like an open-ended caption. All right? Don't do anything stupid with your betting, your bankroll. Don't drink and drive. especially if you're indulging in some beverages watching the games or the UFC tonight. Enjoy. Let's make a boatload of money. And while your other capper's sleeping off his hangover, we've been awake breaking down games since 6 a.m. Pacific time. All right, guys and gals, good luck. Let's make a boatload of money. Any questions, give us a call. We'll see you guys all live tomorrow morning. Take it easy, guys. Thanks, everybody.